Hi again, my name is Darlene from It's an Ink and Stampede. Glad you stopped in. Today's project is this little Valentine that I thought would be really cute for students to take into their classrooms, and it fits really nicely in the small little cellophane bags that Stampin' Up! Sells. And put the little heart here so that they can grab that and pull it out. I also did another one in purples and turquoises. So I'm going to show you how I made those today. The first thing that you're going to need is some smooth cardstock. I'm going to show you the red one today. This base mat is 2 7/8 by 3 5/8, and that is in Wild Wasabi. Then this is in Real Red. It's also smooth cardstock, 2 3/4 by 3 1/2, and then the crumb cake cardstock, 2 3/8 by 3 1/8. We'll start with the crumb cake first, and what I do is ink the edges with some Whisper White craft ink. I do direct to paper. You can also use your sponge if you want, but I just go along the edge. Want it to be kind of soft and rustic looking. Hopefully you can see. I just rub it across the edge. Depending, if you angle it more down this way, you'll get more ink on. If you angle it this way, you'll get just a small amount. Going to use the basic black classic ink. I have also the little Happy Valentine's Day sentiment from the Teeny Tiny Wishes stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp that up on the side. Once the sentiment is on, then choose an image. I picked the heart one with the word friend on it from the I Heart Heart stamp set. Real Red classic ink. Then you want to ink it up real well. And you want to stamp it toward the top at an angle. Seeing it's a solid stamp, you want to use decent pressure so you get a nice coverage on it. Then we're going to stamp the stem, again from the Awash with Flowers stamp set. Now we need to stamp just a couple more hearts on here. The first one that I'm going to do is the little one that says the word love on it. And these images are also from the same stamp set, I Heart Hearts. Ink up the love. Put him at a little angle. Angle down, and I just use the corner of the stamp pad and get that heart inked up without touching all the other ones. Try to avoid all the other images on there. If you get a little on like I just did there, you can wipe that off. And we're going to stamp him a little more of an angle here. While that craft ink is drying a little, we're going to fill in the leaves using the Stamp-A-Majig. For those of you who have not used the Stamp-A-Majig before, you have a imaging sheet that comes with it and the handle, and you take and line it up in the corner. You can also do it in other sides. If you're left-handed, right-handed, you can go this way also. Whatever is best for you. I always tend to go the upper left-hand corner with my stamps. And you want to first do an image that's going to be used to align it on your final stamping. So you put your image that you're going to stamp on your block, I use black classic ink on this, and this is not going to be on your project. You're going to dip it into your ink and then match it up in the corner and push down. And that's going to be your image that you'll use, and you'll see now how that comes into play. So take your final project, and what we're going to do is fill those little green leaves in. So you're going to do the same thing. Align this in the corner as you did at the beginning. Hold down here and pull this away, and you've basically positioned where your stamp's going to be to fill that in. Now I want my leaves to be green, so I'm going to take my Stampin' Write marker and Wild Wasabi and just color the leaves in. Hold on to your handle. Make sure you have your images lined up. If you turn it around, it obviously won't line up. Line the corner up again and stamp. And you can see how that lines up perfectly. We're going to add a little bit of Dazzling Diamonds onto the white heart. So I take my two-way glue pen, fill in your white image of the heart that you stamped, the little dazzling diamonds on it, and you've got that front all ready. Let that dry for a moment. I want to show you how I did this little lace effect. Use the scallop border edge punch. Now what I did is I cut this approximately 4 inches long. It's a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and it's about 3/8 inches wide. It's easier if you have this cut narrow first, but you can cut it later. It's just a little bit easier if you do it this way. You want to put your paper in and center it as best you can by looking at each side and trying to match them as best as possible. Hold this firmly up against the edge and punch. You're going to slide it down, lining up your images here where they show you on the punch. Hopefully you'll be able to see that, and punch again. You're going to go the opposite. Lining up your marks. And punching. And you have your little piece of lace. If you have any little pieces of paper remaining, make sure you clean that off. Then I take my Tombow multi-glue and I run a very small amount of glue down the paper. Try to get all the little loops if you can. Very small amount so that it isn't going to ooze out too much on your final project. And what you're going to do, move this over for just a quick moment. You want to take your snail adhesive and we're going to adhere this onto the red cardstock. Center that and press down. Then flip over your lace piece and place that you'll have a little bit left over that we're going to trim off the edge here. I leave a little bit of the crumb cake showing. You would rather move it all the way over to the side, skew it that way. That would look very pretty too. Then I trim it off. Now that the top of your Valentine's completed, punch out a real red cardstock heart with the Stampin' Up! Heart punch. Add your red glitter. This is from the Fine Galaxy in Stampin' Glitter. And we're going to take the Wild Wasabi piece of cardstock that you cut at the beginning, that was 2 7/8 by 3 5/8, and a piece of sticky strip. And you're going to put it right in the middle on that card base. And then you want to adhere that, overlapping and lining up where your glitter stops with the edge of that card base, and press it down. That makes it pretty sturdy when the kids pull that out of their little cellophane envelope. Flip that over and you're going to put more snail. Line that up with the sides of the Wild Wasabi base reasonably even around, and press down.